There we are again.
Yeah, a delightfully inspiring keynote. I'll say I've enjoyed working with both of those lovely humans, Kat and Celeste, over in the Cloud Native Computing Foundation. And after what I think I'm coming up on 15 years working in open source, that really is a lot of the secrets to how big projects grow, how projects gain momentum is by being approachable, starting with documentation, good onboarding guides, and teaching people how to find where the developers are, how to engage with the project. That's the secret right there.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, if I do a Git clone and I can't find the documentation how to build it, it is buried somewhere. It's always, yeah, I won't use it probably unless there is a huge pain. I also love the cat. Express was really cute. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might have been the first keynote I've ever seen with Sailor Moon, which is just beautiful. Thank you for that surprise.
Yeah, I think it was also a first for me, yes. A blast from the past.
Yeah, and I've, well, I started watching Sailor Moon again. There's a new movie out, new season. But yeah, I've put games and video games and other comics in my own slides before. So any other takeaways from that, Felix? What else connected for you?
I think what is an important point is that there are different roles in a project, and it's not like the guy writing the low-level hardcore C Rust assembly mix is the most important guy. I mean, he's probably doing an important job, but the person writing the documentation and organizing the meetings and so forth is maybe in some cases doing an equally important job, or maybe even more important depending on the project, right? So I think that's an important insight.
I think they're very complementary roles, right? Someone could be in a dark room like I am and writing really amazing tools, but if no one knows about them or no one can find them and use them, they're not really, well, it's not what we're here to build. We're here to build an open source community and help increase the use of enclaves. Conversely, if someone's just on the internet talking about this stuff, but there's no code to back it up, that's not as useful either. You've got to have both roles. And there's really, as Kat and Celeste pointed out, a lot of different roles here that are equally valuable and different in every project.
Yes, I think it's even more true for maybe our still nascent community, because if I tell people about computational computing, it's already confusing. And then they're already confused about the overall concept, and then they go to these half-baked GitHub repositories, maybe with great code, but not so great documentation. I'm not pointing at you.
I'm sure you're not talking about my GitHub repos.
Then I think there's something where our whole community can still improve and maybe learn from other communities like CNCF. Yeah.
And I think the biggest call to our project here in the consortium is make your developers accessible, right? Public meetings, clear guides for making a PR, how to find someone and talk to them. If you want your community to grow, you want more contributors, you want more companies involved in it, you've got to make that bridge. It doesn't happen on its own.
Absolutely, yes.
Shall we move on to the next phase of this day, Felix?
Yes, that sounds good. Let's give it let's give an introduction to our schedule building tools.
Yeah. So folks, the next section is going to be pretty interactive. There's going to be 3 phases to this. I'm going to share my screen through most of this. Here we go. So if you want to watch Felix and I and see the screen, you can just stay like this, or hit the little square on the bottom right of the Hopin platform will maximize the window. Up in the top right is a little 3 dots. If you click that and maximize, it'll maximize just the window that I'm sharing, which might not be as important now, but it might be more important in about 10 minutes. So how all this works, right? You should open up, if you're interested, you should open up the Stickies page yourself. And first, we're going to go through proposing sessions. After you all propose the sessions, then there'll be a phase to vote for sessions. and Felix and I will help arrange things into groupings from which the top voted sessions become the agenda. So each sticky represents one potential session. Please be respectful of others. Don't edit their stickies. Don't move them around. Felix and I will do all the shuffling. Your job is just to double click somewhere, not on the getting started page, but on the agenda building session here. Yeah. Double click a empty space and create something. And you don't have to be the one to stand up and talk about it. You don't have to volunteer for that. You can just put up a sticky with no name on it as a way to say, I really want to learn about this. Who else is interested and wants to come learn with me? We can just have a discussion about it. Felix,
yeah.
I thought we might demonstrate this, but it looks like you proposed ham sandwiches and other folks.
I mean, we prepared a demo, right, with ham sandwiches. And I may just finish this. Let me just add the pig emoji, but apparently people already have it figured out. So there is no need for an artificial ham sandwich, because there are already like 4 super interesting sounding stickies on it.
Yeah. So if we were all in person, this would sort of look like Felix and I standing up at a whiteboard for the first 10 minutes, and then we'd give you all pens and sticky notes and call you all up to the whiteboard when Felix and I are done talking. But because this is online, you can go ahead and propose sessions right now, as some folks already figured out.
Yes, and so in the Stickies app, you can actually change the color of your sticky. So so we have 3 tracks as we outlined in the beginning. The first one is dev models. Actually, the first one is cloud native, right? Anyway, so cloud native is blue. So if you want to propose something in the cloud native space, like using cloud native tools in the context of computational computing, or using running a certain cloud native tool inside an enclave, things like that, then you should pick the blue color for your sticky, and then we already know which area this is concerned with. Likewise, if you want to talk about dev models and related topics, for example, confidential functions versus confidential containers versus confidential VMs, or about running WASM inside an enclave, or running a smart contract off-chain, things like that, then probably dev models is your track of choice, and then please pick the green color. And lastly, if you want to talk about attestation, then it's orange. And yeah, good topics for attestation could include things like specific details on SGX decap or AMD SEV or Intel TDX, ARM realms, things like that, or general discussions around attestation. What is this, what can it be used for? Where should we go? What kind of interfaces should we build? Things like that. Then please make your sticky orange. Yeah, and I think that's about it. And once we have all the stickies there, we will sort them, and then you can vote on them.
Yeah, and I saw a couple questions pop up in the Hopin chat, so I was just answering those. I'll read them out for anyone who wasn't noticing that. If you have any trouble logging into Stickies, maybe there's a VPN issue, or it requires an account you don't want to set one up right now, that's fine. You're welcome to propose your idea right there in the Hopin chat, and either Felix or myself will copy it over for you.
Yes, and so regarding voting, it's pretty simple. So in the right down corner, bottom corner of the sticky, you can just click +1 and then get a +1.
Yeah, and notice that after I +1, I can -1. I can remove my vote, but you can't downvote someone else's topic. Right. So think of voting as, what do you have time and interest for? It's not great. It's not useful if everyone votes for everything, then we can't prioritize. But if you vote for the ones you like, then that'll help. So far, I only see proposals for attestation. See a couple of those.
Yeah.
Let's see, are there other parts of this that we need to talk about? Nope, there's proposing, there's voting, and then lastly is the agenda building, which Felix and I will get to that after you've all proposed sessions. So I think that's it for the how this all works.
Yes, and if you are unsure what track to assign your topic to, then you maybe just leave it yellow, and we can decide where it fits best, and maybe just assign it randomly if it's a great topic but doesn't fit precisely under one of the three.
Yeah. So folks, please come on up virtually, right? Open up Stickies and keep adding stuff. Felix and I will just keep talking and looking at this for a little while until we have enough content here.
Yeah. So the plan is to have an agenda at 6 p.m. my time and at 9 a.m. on the West Coast. So there's still some time for you to create stickies, and we'll keep an eye on that.
There's a little time to go grab a cup of coffee if you need one, or another one, or I don't know, a beer if it's that time for you in the afternoon. Okay, I see a proposal here from Mike. I'm going to copy that in. And as a reminder, folks, please, be respectful. Don't move other people's stickies. I know it's easy to do. This is we're trusting all of you to collaborate here on this exercise. Don't move someone else's sticky. Thomas, I see you're asking a question. What did you add? Oh. Okay. I can move that one. There we go. Ooh, Locky, I like that topic. Confidential container workflows with Kubernetes. Let's come up with an end-to-end. I'm going to +1 that. I'm really interested in Kubernetes.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Mysticos, for anyone who hasn't heard of this yet, it's a new open source project for running pre-built applications in a trusted execution environment.
That's also great. I'm going to vote for that.
Introduction to attestation use cases. It looks like Mike Bursell says he can't make it. That's sad. He's been driving a lot of that work in the CCC attestation working group. So yeah, I guess I'll talk about that for a minute since I'm one of the co-chairs. There are 5 co-chairs, but if you over the past 6 months, the consortium has been talking about how do we really enable cross-cloud and cross-TE attestation. So we spun up a group to own that body of work. We have meetings every 2 weeks. I think it's, if memory serves, it's Tuesday at 9 a.m. Pacific. And anyone can come join that. And it looks like if Mike isn't doing this, hopefully one of the other co-chairs, maybe Thomas Fasadi is here who can talk about or lead that discussion. Thomas, would you like me to put your name on this? yeah, folks, please remember to put your name on these. You can
Oh, yeah, that's very important.
Yeah, please put your name. Yeah, I see Derek doing that. Perfect, just like that. Derek Miller. You don't have to put a company name. This is just going to help our moderators later as we build out the actual agenda. Felix and Bob and
however, I think on the bottom left corner, we can also, if people signed in, we can also see their names.
That's true. That's true. Okay. So, Felix and Bob and George will be moderating the 3 sessions later, and it'll help them to know who proposed each one of these, so they can call you up on stage in the unconference tracks if you want to talk, share a screen, share a presentation for a while. Thomas, my question to you was, do you want to lead the? I see Mike Purcell proposed Introduction to Attestation Use Cases, which I'm assuming is related to the CCC attestation body, but Mike said he can't attend. So I was asking if you wanted me to put your name on that one. Let's see. I'm starting to get pretty good content up here. I'm going to start rearranging these, and oops, this is the part where my screen gets real big.
Yeah, it's a pity that these are 3 parallel tracks. I'd love to talk about most of these topics.
Yeah. Yeah, and if anything, if you don't have a category or topic, that's totally okay. You can just leave it the default color. Felix, what projects are you super excited about these days?
Obviously, I am a bit biased because our small company is working on some open source projects.
You want to tell me about that one?
Say again?
Would you like to tell me about that? I don't know too much what you're doing right now.
So we really believe that cloud native and computational computing belong together. So we've been investing in bringing the Go runtime to the enclave and making it work nicely with existing cloud native tooling. I think it's super interesting to see that we have this CNCF track today, and I think we will see great things in the future once we have CC and CNCF connected. I'm also super excited about Mysticos. I think it's a very promising approach.
One of my close to my heart.
Yeah. And I've also been very impressed with the work the Oclum guys in China have been doing recently. So I think they are really creating a mature runtime there for all kinds of runtime of programming languages, and they're really taking care to make it go fast, and that's very, very interesting to watch. And what I also find really interesting are the various WASM-based approaches. Because again, it feels really cool, like running WebAssembly inside an enclave, and it just seems to make a lot of sense. Yeah. How about yourself?
I think somebody just pushed auto arrange. I wonder if I can undo that. No, I can't. Okay, so folks, please do not click the auto arrange button. It actually changes everyone's view. Felix and I are going to be manually grouping these in categories. So please do not click auto arrange. Do not click that. Things that I'm excited for right now. And the list that you gave is pretty similar to mine. I think there's a huge opportunity for confidential computing and cloud native to intersect with each other and really enable a lot of uses. I might be a little bit biased given my work with the CNCF and in building clouds for the past 10 years now. Before Kubernetes, I was working on OpenStack. I kind of biased towards cloud use cases. And I think Go and enabling Golang is a really key sort of step in helping this be more accessible than just C SDKs. I think containerization, or being able to think the scenarios that Graphene and Occlum and Mysticos and others all are trying to enable, take a container and run it in an enclave. It's only a part of the puzzle, though. You also need the orchestration, you need the attestation, and you need some way to find or trust the hardware underneath the cloud. And we haven't, at least I haven't seen a really good end-to-end solution yet for how a consumer of a cloud puts all those pieces together. So I'm really excited to see folks today talk about that or work on figuring that out together.
Yes, absolutely. I think there's still a lack of services as well. Like I think we're seeing different services popping up slowly, like services for attestation and persistence and so forth. And I believe that once we have a good infrastructure, we'll really see the cool applications popping up all over the place. What I also find quite exciting is the combination of web applications and confidential computing. And I think there are many super interesting use cases. Like oftentimes when I go to a website, like I just want to get the hash of a file, say, or I'm too lazy to open up the command line. I just want to get a website to hash this document, or maybe to compress this picture for me. However, I don't trust this website, right? Maybe because the document may be sensitive. And in these cases, I just wish that there was a CC-based web application that somehow would signal to me via the browser that this was a good application running inside an enclave that has a certain measurement, and that different folks upvoted this measurement, for example. And I'm very, very, very excited to see what people will build once we have certain infrastructure pieces in place. And of course, I think what everyone is waiting for is also CC coming to accelerators. Like
oh yes, indeed.
Everyone seems to be after that. Like have an enclave here and then have it create a secure channel to some GPU or AI accelerator, and then this accelerator also has an enclave maybe, and then you can have your end-to-end secure and verifiable AI pipeline. That sounds super amazing, and I can't wait for the NVIDIAs and AMDs of this world to build GPUs with enclaves.
I think attestation is such a hot topic that the proposals don't even fit on my screen. I'm going to make a second column for it now. Cool. Okay, it looks like folks have been voting on these. So please continue voting, everybody. I'm going to give it about another 4 minutes to continue voting, and then we're going to stop counting votes, do a quick ordering, and then do any sort of agenda shuffling we need to, and call it good. We've got about 14 minutes left in this segment. So keep those proposals coming in. Keep voting for 4 more minutes. And if you didn't put a name on it, I'm going to assume you don't want to present. If you want to present, please make sure you're writing your name in, like Thomas F. here did, or Mike Brasher, Apurva, Moritz. Right? Please do add your name. Even though there's a little, icon down here, we can sometimes grab a name. It's much easier if your name's just written on there. Oh, Dan, I love your icon here. Oh, great. A little fry icon. I think that's fry. Okay. Looks like this might fit in a not quite so big window. I'm gonna try to resize my window here, our virtual whiteboard. Make this easier for folks to see. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Nope. Okay. Great. Two more minutes of voting. Okay, and I see Nicola proposing a topic. Decentralized key certificate distribution in environments. I think that is a dev models. I'm going to guess.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything in the chat? Oh, okay. Yeah. I see a couple of requests in the chat to upvote on behalf of someone else. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. Each signed in user only has 1 vote per item they can give. Oh, I see a couple more coming in. Awesome. 1 more minute for proposals, 1 more minute for voting.
Yeah.
It already looks like an exciting day of conversations that I'm gonna want to be in 3 places at once all day long.
Yes.
As much as I see
with the markdown files.
Right, we'll have the markdown files. Oh yeah, and so after twice today, once in the morning there'll be 2 sessions, and then we'll all come back together. And the unconference moderators, George and Bob and Felix, are gonna hop back on the main stage, all of us together, to talk about what happened in the morning session. So everyone will get a chance to learn and hear a little summary of the sessions they might not have made it to. We'll do that again at the end of the day. So if you can't make it into one session because something else is just too cool and too important for you, don't worry, there will be some notes captured and a little bit of a readout about it. And hopefully everyone can stick around until the end of the day. Okay, we are at 51 minutes past the hour, so please, drop your pens, put your pens down, everybody. No more voting. Felix and I, let's start organizing this.
Yes.
So, okay, I'm gonna look at the attestation track. I see +14 on SGX decap.
That's a massive plus 14, yeah.
That's pretty darn high. There's a plus 10
Yes.
and a plus 11. Provisioning and attestation protocols in Intel TDX. Now, I believe we have an entire main stage presentation happening on TDX. Is Ravi on the hop-in chat? If so, Ravi, my question for you is, will you be presenting on that particular topic, right? Attestation protocols in TDX.
Hey, sorry, I was just.
Hey, there you are. Welcome.
Yeah, I'll talk about. I mean, it's a short session.
We don't have time to talk about it a lot. I just want to know if it's going to be a conflict. Like, if you're already going to cover that,
we'll cover it. There's a lot of subtopics to cover there, so we'll cover at least an introduction to it, and then probably it would be good to have a separate detailed breakout on a non-overlapping time if people want to go into a chat about more things.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think that there will be a conflict because I know the author of the Sticky, and he just published a paper on formally verifying the TDX protocol to some extent, and so I think it will be an interesting discussion. Yes.
Okay. So we have SGX DCAP, we have Intel TDX, and then we have solutions for supporting attestation on multiple platforms. Attestation use cases below that. Sort of our cut line is that fourth one. So device identification, and then attestation models for FAS, and general questions on attestation. I think that kind of lumps together a bunch, but we've got 4 sessions there. I think all we have to do is make sure that the discussion on TDX doesn't conflict with Ravi's talk. So folks can go to both of them if they're really focused on TDX. But we've got this, I forgot there's a whole second side there. I need to pull that in. Okay. Now we got a bunch of ties, now that I remembered that's sitting on the side there. Attestation results for secure interactions.
It definitely looks like an interesting sticky with the emojis.
I love the stars.
Yes.
Derek, Eric, Hank, do you think that these two could squish together and share a room? Right? You've got attestation for multiple platforms here, and attestation results for secure interactions. Could those share one session? Dan says that SGX DCAP and TDX attestation are highly overlapping concepts. Okay.
That may there. Yeah.
So that's one item. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Attestation verifiers. Okay, I think we got to move on to the other 2 tracks because that's getting pretty.
Yeah.
I'm gonna squash these 2 together and put it back in.
That sounds good.
They map it, a whopping plus 26 total votes on that one. Okay, so that's our cut now is at this level right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that right? Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Dev models. We have a 14. A couple late additions over here. Perfect is good enough. Got 6. 2. 4. Windows got no votes. As a Microsoft employee, I think I'm supposed to give a womp womp sound for that. Okay, so we've got Mysticos with 14 votes. Wow, that's awesome. Provisioning IETF with Dave, that's got a plus 6. Perfect versus good enough has a +6, and then TLS endpoints has a +4. Awesome. Okay, and then cloud native. Wow, Lockie, if you're here, yours got 16. That's incredible. Okay, we've got 3 with a good number of votes there, and this last one, technical comparison of various approaches and dev tools available for cloud native deployment, has 1 vote. With only 1 vote, I'm going to look at other columns and see if there's something else that had a lot of votes. I'd rather have a full session than stick to the track topic.
The attestation use cases is, I think, the best other, but
well, attestation in AMD Sev had 7.
Oh yeah.
And I don't see any other content about AMD here, and I'm really interested in that.
So let's move that over. That sounds good. Yes.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Great. I think we have our agenda now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for helping us build the day's agenda. In the next 15 minutes, or in 3 minutes, we're going to take a little break, go grab some coffee. We're going to put up a hold screen, and our magical helpers from the Linux Foundation are behind the scenes going to take this information. They're going to go update a bunch of other websites for us. They're going to update the Hopin platform. So maybe not by the time you come back, but certainly in the next half hour, all the updates will be done. And you'll actually see the titles of these sessions reflected in Hopin, also on the main scheduling slide, which I will throw up on the screen right now, just so you can see it one more time before it's changed forever. Yep. And they're already working on it, right? So just like this slide, you should all be able to open it up yourself and click on these links. They're going to start taking you into those discussions after the break.
There's a request from Dave Thaler, if we could.
Oh, time slots, yes.
Yeah, I think we should be able to accommodate that, right?
Yeah, so let's do time slots right now. Felix, can you share your screen while I'm sharing mine?
Potentially.
If you can share the Stickies view, and then I can share the agenda view, we can collectively organize this.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it only makes one of them big.
So Dave is in the third slot on the dev models track, and he probably wants to attend Derek's session in the attestation track. So we could just move Derek's one up, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there other conflicts that folks see in this ordering? We've got AMD Sev. Ashley, if you're listening, please hold off on editing for the moment. We're just double checking the schedule. So we've got AMD. Okay, I think AMD in the fourth slot is a conflict because there is a presentation on Sev SMP in the fourth slot. So let's bump that up, and we can put Ego in the last slot against attestation results and TLS endpoints. If I can put some padding in here, makes them easier to see a little bit.
Yeah, maybe we can. I think the fourth talk in the attestation track, there's Hank from Germany, and we should possibly try to not make it too late for him. So maybe we can.
Good point. Good point.
Move that one up.
What about Moritz talking about Ego?
He's also in German. Maybe we could move that.
Okay.
Second.
Kubernetes. We've got confidential containers in the 3rd slot and cloud native in the 1st slot. So let's move the Kubernetes talk towards the end of the day and bump the ego talk up to the 2nd slot.
Yeah, I also bumped Hanks to 2nd in the attestation track.
Okay. So we got Mysticos in the morning slot. That's going to conflict with Lightning talks on Cloud Native. That might be okay. There's a little bit of overlap there, but what if we swap Mysticos and TE provisioning? We put perfect versus good enough at the beginning of the day. That might be better.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's do that.
And also Hank asked for the 3rd slot, so I think I just gave him that, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
This is pretty complex task here.
It really is, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I see a question from Danielle. The sessions, the unconference sessions will not be recorded. There will be minutes captured and there'll be a readout on the main stage. The readouts from all the session moderators will be recorded, but the actual hour-long discussion will not be. Shanwei had a question for SGX. Does Ravi have a main track? Yes, Ravi does have a main track presentation. That is, I believe, the 10:30 to 10:55 slot on the main stage. Dave asks, what is the live schedule slide link again? It should be in the attendee guide and in the Hopin platform. I'll go ahead and also just paste it here in Hopin for everybody.
Yep.
Okay. And Thomas asks, I think it would make sense to merge attestation verifiers and solution for attestation. Oh, interesting. Okay.
But Hank asked for the 3rd slot somewhere up because it's after his kid's bedtime.
So there's really 3 talks here. All 3 of these are on very similar things. Even the last one, Derek Miller from ARM, saying solutions for supporting attestation on multiple platforms. That's pretty similar to attestation verifiers and the Verizon project.
Maybe we can try to merge some more and bring Mike Brissell's topic back in.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so if
let's merge the 4th talk with the 2nd.
Okay. It doesn't merge like that here, Felix. I got it.
Okay.
Like that, and then I'm going to go plus 21 total and delete this. And then we can move attestation use cases back in.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it may be better to have those as a starting thing and then have maybe SGX in the end. Decap.
So
now I'm happy with that.
I see SGX decap at the end of the day. I think that works because the only conflict, or the only thing in that time slot is SEV SMP. Okay. In the morning, attestation. Yeah, morning conflicts aren't that bad. Second session. End user council and STX-aware Kubernetes clusters. It's kind of similar. I think Robbie's talk is kind of similar to Mysticos, but different enough. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Robbie corrected me in chat. Robbie's talk is on TDX. Miko is talking about SGX. That's right. Thank you. Yeah, I don't have the speaker names on the slide. Felix, are ready to call it?
Yes, I think.
Okay.
I think we can call it. Yes.
Awesome. Thank you all. That was a lot of good work. Team effort here.
Yeah.
Dave, to your question of time slot assignments, there are 4 sessions in each track. Those line up to the spreadsheet. So the window that I'm sharing right now is the time slot alignments. We just haven't updated the names yet. So Dave, in about 20 minutes, you'll see all that reflected. Ashley and other magical helpers, now you can go. And thank you.
Oh.
Back in 10 or so. See you all soon.